and we'll see how this will go. So resources, open this, we have erased as blue team, so actually I need to swap the teams. What are they writing? Only good luck, have fun, okay. So erased, we'll watch from Suvak's perspective, playing as Empire right here. Here is his teammate Makrozerg, and of course Aegis has fallen as well, and here is Pravsha as Beast. We saw one Beast from Pravsha today, he was making Ogres, so we'll see if he will stick with that strategy. But we'll see. MK19 saying hard. Didn't play them yet, surely will try, okay. Always glad to see some new people trying my projects. Definitely good for some feedback and overall. Of course, that's why I make them, so people play it. But yeah, let's focus on the game. So, we see Pravsha, of course, closing it right here. Normal strategy from him. Suvak. Actually, Makrozerg is going for some interesting things here. He's going for quick expansion, even though Suvak... Actually, Suvak is here to probably protect it somehow. He's going to protect his ally with towers. This is super interesting strategy. Of course, it still doesn't fix the problem from going from the underground, but we didn't see that utilized yet, so I think they will be fine. Aegis will probably scout that soon, but actually these towers might be finished before he can even get here. And the only vulnerable spot will be Suvak, but he can just build a tower here and he will be fine as well. Pravsha and Aegis playing a little bit more defensively. We see tower here, Pravsha blocking with a Boron, going for Dark Archer. Maybe he wants to make Wyverns, or maybe just quick trolls, or Ogres again, or Striders, whatever. Many options, different. But this is definitely well protected, so I don't think this will fall. We see just one Hive Stinger and immediate incubators, so maybe Aegis wants to go for Hive Spitters immediately. Okay, Suvak actually got here secretly. I don't think he saw him. If he goes there with the Hive Stinger, he saw him, but if he doesn't, we'll probably see some towers from Suvak. Actually, here is Swordsman attacking on Boron. And that's fine. We see a hive here, of course. Actually, Suvak was found by Aegis, so this is definitely nice. Or I mean nice, that he won't get overrushed. That would end it pretty soon. Soulskeeper saying that I really don't know what happened. What I did, I just pressed a button. I mean, you can press it more times if you want. No, I mean, you at least received some badge there. You are the gifter leader one, because you gifted the most amount of subscriptions. Because there are no subscriptions, of course I have subscription automatically, but outside of that, Toros will be now the only one with subscription. Unless someone else buys another one or gifts another one. Yeah, I think you probably gifted a random subscription and it just chose him. But to be honest, it seems like direct. Maybe you chose him somehow without even knowing how, but yeah, I still appreciate it, of course. We see expansion from Aegis. To be honest, I'm not too sure about that. It's not protected at all. We see really nice, not push, but Suvak just scouting here with Swordsman. We see trolls, okay, so no ogres today in this game. They have Hive Stingers, so that wouldn't be too wise. I don't think Suvak is pushing this.
Our tribes are under attack. The building
They have insane defense here, or I mean just one tower, but really well covered. But a Makrozerg will just have so much more resources. We have some legs here, hopefully it won't crash. We see, of course, the troll, even with a witch. So this is definitely nice. But now we see actually Suvak coming here. He doesn't know about the expansion, but definitely can find out about it pretty soon. We see Gnome Workshop trying to go for some catapults, definitely wise against the trolls. He needs something to fight back. And we'll see.
We are being attacked.
So, of course, they are scouting thanks to the control forms that can see underground. They are scouting Fallens, the underground, a little bit. So they know. Oh, actually, another donate, 2 euros. Thanks you, man. There is a long message. I will need to read that after that. If I actually find out how to read it later. But it should be in the Twitch panel somewhere. Right now. Yeah, so, I mean, Macrozerg definitely has way more resources, but Aegis is trying to catch up. So they both will have an expansion now. These stone forms, I don't really like them. Yeah, but we see Aegis coming with huge army here. But you also see Macrozerg. Actually, Macrozerg has so much resources from that, but I don't see him spending it anywhere. So, he doesn't have a huge army. There's only one expansion. So I don't know where he's pumping the resources. Of course, the harvesters also cost something, but he should still have way more resources. He's actually only playing with 5 in each town. Going for some high spitters now. Also nightmares. We see one catapult here. That's interesting. Oh, he's actually destroying his farm because he cannot get out. That was not the best build, but okay. He wanted to play safe in the beginning because he spent some resources on protecting the expansion of his ally. Good for Tauros, what I should say. Hopes for all the best for him. Eh? I mean, he will probably also be glad. Right now, yeah, as you can see, they are all playing not super defensively, but like not committing to anything. Yeah, when I played with Soulskeeper, of course, we are playing a little bit more aggressively, trying to kill them once we had stronger army. No, wait, thought that it would drop. I mean, crashed the game, it was longer lag, but it's fine. Yeah, so they are playing a little bit more carefully, let's say. Really going for that expansion. This is also a really interesting move that they did here, but I mean, Aegis also has an expansion now, so it should be fine. But to be honest, even though they should have so much more resources, I feel like Pravsha has so many trolls that they are maybe even winning here. Even though the catapults will be really nasty enemies. But as you can see, he has the nightmares here mainly for movement speed buffs probably. Just so we can move around the map a little bit quicker. I still don't see anything interesting from Macrozerg. Just one Vengeance Hall, not even Chamber of the Avengers or, yeah, or like a huge amount of High Spitters or High Stingers. Actually, I think Aegis has some more High Spitters. Even though, okay, if I look at the population, he has 90 population, so Macrozerg definitely has something somewhere. I just don't really see it because... I mean, it takes 3 population each of these units, but... I really don't know if this should be 90 population. Of course, he has 2 towns, but Aegis has that too. But he doesn't have full harvesters there yet, so maybe that's the reason. Actually, Macrozerg going for second expansion, definitely wise. Seems like no one is really committing to rushing. Yeah, but seems like Suvak is just going for pure catapults, while Pravsha is going for pure trolls. Of course, with some other units, but the main focus here. And the Fallens are just both going for High Spitters. Macrozerg supporting it with few Nightmares for some extra abilities, while Aegis is just going for his typical Avengers, which will definitely prove more valuable here, I think. But we'll see. Macrozerg still not making the move for upgrading his army to anything more interesting. Only one upgrade, that's definitely not too much. No upgrades from Suvak, no upgrades from Pravsha. Okay, no one is upgrading their units. Actually, the only upgrade I see is 1 damage upgrade for basic units of Fallen for Makrozerg. Here died one swordsman of Suvak, probably from the trolls. Of course, they will still have more resources. Once again, a long lag. I really don't know why it's lagging so much, but it's just happening. Hopefully, it won't crash.
Our boron herd is too small.
I mean, it could be crashing because of... I mean, we had one crash, yeah, so I shouldn't be saying it is crashing, but it usually crashes if we have custom maps, but actually the one that dropped was this map, but it was the default one, because this version was... there was a mistake and I didn't want to go repair it, so we played one game with the normal version and that actually dropped, so it's like that was not caused by the custom game. But we see some really big armies here now.
The building complete, Master.
Both teams have some Hive Stingers, but there are only 2 witches, but he has a ton of Goblin Riders, so it's probably stronger than these priests here. We see Gnome Arc trying to pick up some catapults probably, when it's going to be needed. But to be honest, Makrozerg has much bigger army and Aegis, but I think 5 Avengers will just deal with this super quickly. Also, the trolls are dealing, I mean, the attack speed they have, that's insane, and that's definitely going to deal much more damage than the catapults from Suvak. To be honest, I feel like this might be a GG, even though they had so much more resources. I believe, at least, I think we will see it in the results. Of course, at this point also Suvak has expansion and Pravsha is making an expansion, but Makrozerg should just have so much more resources. And as I said, I hope we'll see it in the results, but it seems like he didn't really utilize them well enough. Well, I mean, it was seen in the population taken, in the resources stats, but I just didn't see the army. Yeah, but main mistake was probably not going for Avengers, because of course his army of Hive Spitters and Nightmares will just get totally destroyed by Avengers every single time, so this was not the best option, I think. Yeah, of course, this is just a war of siege units. Avengers have the best utility, with great movement speed, instant shooting, and tankiness. While catapults have high damage, trolls have also high damage, but not that high, but they also have the stone form. They can also easily level up. You cannot level up catapults actually, which is quite a disadvantage. And once you level up trolls, they have more damage than catapults, so then it's just a better unit overall. Of course, different damage types, but you have only 15 fire, so that wouldn't usually change too much. And yeah, I think this is GG. Actually, Suvak has a ton of resources. Maybe he will just escape to underground or something, but I don't see this going too well for him. Actually, all of this is super damaged. They're trying to finish it. I think he should just send the catapults there. But he's trying to play it super defensively. Yeah, they should probably pick up the Hive Stingers here with the arc. That would be more effective. Yeah, so he'll kill some units here, but overall he seems pretty dead, even though he has so much resources. Also, they have one more expansion now in the underground, so potentially losing this town is not the end of the game, because they should still have four bases against 4. But of course, Suvak doesn't even have the production buildings or anything, so now it's really just about Makrozerg, who is finally going for at least Sorrow Shrine, but still don't see actually the Chamber of the Avenger. Okay, we see Stone Form. Seems like they actually also lost all of their units, so now it's basically balanced again. The problem is really with Suvak that doesn't really have anything available. He has ton of resources, but don't have the peasants for that, don't have population, don't have production buildings. He's probably going for expansion in the underground, even though this is probably gonna be taken by Macrozerg, seems like. That is one troll, okay. I probably wouldn't take this back, it's almost empty. You definitely want to go here, you have Arc, so that's the best option, or you can just try to take the normal underground expansions, but those are vulnerable. The team or Team Spirit, Pravsha and Aegis, they don't have any flank units, so that would be safe there. As you can see here, it will just get destroyed. Fortunately, it was just Macrozerg who doesn't really care about it, but Suvak should definitely run somewhere else. We see a nice attack from Macrozerg here. Fortunately, the trolls are just super broken, so they might be able to still deal with this also if Avengers come here to help. We see nice attack from Suvak with catapults here, placing them here. He has only 2 of them, you cannot fit more in Arc, but still at least something. Unfortunately, one of them is really damaged, so you need to be careful so he doesn't lose them. But he's still trying, keeping up the pressure here, but I should definitely retreat with this catapult. He was really lucky there, but I wouldn't risk that again.
Our Boron herd is too small.
We see only scouting from Aegis here. Suvak kinda just sitting there, AFK with his peasants. But he's finally at least producing some swordsmen, trying to upgrade his town hall, even though he doesn't have peasants. He should at least use the ones in the underground for mining. They are not doing anything there. Either he needs to make an expansion somewhere hidden, or he needs to use them for harvesting resources, but this is just a waste. But as you can see, the population of Macrozerg is really high, so maybe he still has a chance here. But I still don't know how he wants to deal with Avengers. He would need flying Heistingers that would drop on them. Then with the quick movement speed from Nightmares, he might be able to deal with that. Yeah, actually maybe he will deal with this, but I mean once the Avengers also come... this is actually pretty bad. Macrozerg will lose his town here to the Heistingers of Aegis. We see insane rush. Actually slowing him down, Macrozerg slowing Aegis. Which means Macrozerg will also maybe destroy Pravsha's town as they did with Suvak's town. While also losing this, so it will be once again balanced. But I'm not sure if he will actually destroy this, because the Avengers might be coming, even though they are maybe attacking here. The tower won't help with that. There are some units, but I'm not sure if that will be enough. Actually, we see quick attack with catapults, but he lost them. Because actually there is one more, he cannot attack on it, but he has flank Heistingers, so he'll eventually deal with that. And he's actually destroying the Pravsha's expansion as well, which they didn't do before with the Suvak's town. If they did that and destroyed the Suvak would be already dead. Fortunately they didn't, and now maybe that will not pay off too well to them. For them. We see pretty decent army from Macrozerg, but he's not really willing to fight this. He's just staying in the back. It's an interesting choice to make Nightmares instead of Avengers. Of course you save some time, but overall, of course the speed is super insane. You can also increase movement speed of Heistingers in Incubator, so with that and also the boost from, I mean the Windwalk from Nightmares will just do even greater job. He also has a lot of Whispers, maybe we can see some, or expect some Voidwalkers. Pravsha is building down here, but to be honest, that won't probably survive for too long. Actually, I really like this strategy from Macrozerg. Of course, the first fast expansion was a really nice move, interestingly executed, and then he's like really staying with his name, making this Zerg, Macrozerg, of these small Heistingers, nicely done with really good movement speed. The army is just mobile, you can upgrade movement speed for all of these units, I think. And then you also have the Windwalk and also Frost Shields if you want. but yeah, overall it just seems really interesting to choose this strategy. Of course, it's not going to be too effective in the early game, but if you can mess it like this with ton of units, it's definitely going to work. So as you can see, Suvak was victorious and Makrozerg as well. Let's check the results. We have Makrozerg 157 kills. Age is actually right behind him with much less units, so he had really good efficiency with these Avengers, of course. Pravsha 92 kills, actually Suvak only 45, so he didn't do much there, but he was like a really good support for Makrozerg there, slowing down the enemies, helping him with the first expansion, also bringing the catapults, harassing and all of these kinds of stuff. That really helped the team overall. But of course the main strength was then in Makrozerg, who had all the expansions and ton of resources, ton of units. Not too many upgrades, but they were just messing units. He sent some resources to Suvak, but not too much. He was just mainly focusing on what he was doing, but you can see the resources here. Ton of advantage from that. We see Suvak and Pravsha on the same resources, basically, no expansions. Or I mean, Suvak made an expansion, but right at the same time he lost this main town, so that was the same. But you can see the difference of Makrozerg against Aegis, just so much more resources, and you also see it in the units. Even though Aegis was able to kill the same amount of units somehow, the mess will always win if you have so much more resources. Yeah, so definitely nice. I will actually save this game. This was super nice. I should have saved all games, but I always forgot. Yeah, so let's save it like a 2v2 showdown.